Hey everyone, welcome to My Body Talk Show. I'm your host Celia Lee. This week's episode is quite different from the usual topics that I talk about. I'm going to be talking about my first plant medicine experience. Reason I'm sharing because it's such a healing experience and I just want the whole world to know about it. I just want to encourage people that people should do it. If you're going through like a lot of trauma in life, not that I was going through a lot of trauma, but I just think like everyone will benefit if you haven't done it once, like at least do it one time, and it helps you gain clarity in life. Let's just put it this way. And also, like, if you're kind of person that holds on to a lot of things, it will help you let go of the things and be at peace, with yourself, and awaken your higher self. Makes you more powerful, basically. Anyway, so I did peyote. For those who don't know what it is, it's a cactus that is used by the Native Americans. They've been doing it for centuries. This is something they do, they said, on a weekly basis, apparently. Like even since starting from as a baby, he said. But anyway, oh, by the way, just to clarify, for some of you might think, oh, basically, is this a drug? It's not a drug, it's legal, okay? Like the Native Americans actually had to fight for it to be legalized in the country, in the United States, and I believe it's also legal. You can grow it in the UK as well. To know more about it, go on Netflix and watch a documentary called Changing Your Mind or Changing the Mind, one or the other, and it's the 4th episode. Okay, so I was told about this by my friend. We went together, went to this apartment, and then there was a guy who's Native American, and there was like 10 of us in the room. It was overnight thing. Started at 10 p.m. and then went over to the next morning 7 a.m. And he had the thing, the shrine in the middle sort of thing, and like the candles and then the medicine and then the water and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so when he gave us the medicine in our hands, and then we had to like close it and put it close to our heart. When you have the medicine, you got to set your own intention. So my intention was to have the courage to let go, have the courage to surrender, have the courage to do what it is that I want to do, and have the courage to receive abundance. So pretty much is to have the courage to do anything, right? Anyway, so I was having a lot of visions. At first, the medicine took about an hour to kick in. So anyway, after it started kicking in, I started seeing vision, like lots of flashing lights, different colors, different shapes, patterns, and all of that. And like my body was just feeling light. My left arm started shaking, and you do purge, but everyone have different reactions and different experiences. So for me, the way I purge was through crying. So you've purged from like crying, could be vomiting, sneezing, burping, probably also like farting as well, I think. But anyway, so mine was crying. I was literally crying like non-stop. I could not like stop it, like literally so much that my arms were wet and my snotty all come out and everything. But anyway, there was one point that I wanted to vomit, but I couldn't. He actually had buckets ready for people to vomit, and then one of the ladies, she actually was purging. She was vomiting. And by the way, you might be thinking, you must have stank then. No. Funny thing is, like, not funny thing, but like when you vomit, the things are not like lumpy food that like that comes from the stomach. It's not. It's actually just liquid. It's just water. I mean, of course it's liquid, but it's just water. And the shaman basically described it as, you would think that it's food, but it's not. It's just water, and sometimes they come out as like bluey and brown or green or something like that, the way he described it. But I didn't see it. But yeah, but it did smell. I didn't smell nothing at all. Anyway, so yeah, I did grab the bucket just in case I wanted to vomit, but I just couldn't. It was so annoying because like I felt it. I felt sick, and then like it was going higher and higher and higher and higher. When it got to a point, but it was about here, I felt like, okay, I'm gonna be sick. I really want to get it out, because that feeling. You just like, oh, it's like it's not going. It's up and down. You just want to get it out, but it just wouldn't come out. So. But anyway, but it was coming in waves. It literally was like, at one point felt so sick, and it sort of went down a bit and it came back up again and that. And I thought maybe if I take more of the medicine, more doses, it would help. So we had the chance to do it 4 times, meaning like we could take the medicine 4 times. You don't have to, you can do it once if you wanted to. But I took it 3 times and still, I still didn't purge well, that way anyway, but I was crying. So anyway, so lessons learned. I learned so much from that experience that right now, I can tell you that I had an ego death. That's the main thing. I had an ego death. So the first lesson that I know it was a lesson for me is letting go. So there was this incident that I have not been able to let go. And I'm not going to say what exactly it is because I made a promise to the other person to not expose what it is. But anyway, all I can say is that a year ago, this incident happen, and not being able to let go. I've been like, it's a traumatic experience, and I thought I had let go back in November when I went to Austin for the Awaken for the event that I did there, I attended, and we did breath work, and I did feel relieved at the time when I did the breath work regarding that incident. But then recently, because it's almost like the incident was like a year anniversary came up, so the feeling came back, so I didn't fully let go. But anyway, so during the medicine, now during ceremony, I saw a baby girl, and she was just looking at me. She had like these like beautiful big eyes, and she was just so cute. And the lesson, I just knew immediately, it was like I heard it was just saying like, let go, Cilia. And then immediately I felt relieved, and I knew what that message was. I knew what exactly it was. Basically, yeah, let go. And oh, by the way, you might be thinking like, what do you mean like you heard a message? So it's not like you hear a voice. Well, it is a voice, but it's not at the same time, if that makes sense. It's not like you hear like clear, like some whispering. It's not that, but you just know. You just know what that message means. So yeah, so that's one of them. And then in terms of like ego death, like there's so many incidents, so many visions that I had. I know that all led to basically killing the death, leading to like stripping the ego. So basically, so you know how like when you meet someone or you just seen someone, you automatically will form judgment and like opinion, right? Not in a bad way, you just do naturally. So in the room there was like 10 of us, and or during the ceremony, like when the medicine was kicking in, obviously I was just observing people at the same time, because we was talking, we were actually having conversation. So by the way, it's not like you will be like you don't know what's going on, or you can't talk. Literally, you're conscious. We are actually just having a conversation. And as I'm listening to the conversation, my head starting to form like judgment and opinion about certain people, and then something was like to me, Cilia, stop judging. Stop analysing. Your ego's kicking in. I was so aware of myself doing that. So that was gone. So then I stopped. And then another one is like, this is another lesson is, I always hear like, for example, my coach, Danny Morrell, he always say like, oh, we are one. Me and you, there's no difference between me and you. There's no difference between me and that person. We are one. There's no gender. There's no race. We are just one. That's because if we define ourselves as women and men, or Chinese, Latino, or black, whatever, there's separation. So I kind of understood what he meant, but part of me was, my ego was still like, yeah, but it's hard though, because once you've been through racism, you're still gonna be hard to find the oneness. Anyway, that medicine made me fully understand what it is, what it means. I felt it. I felt one with everyone else in the room. I just felt it. I just know we are one. And another part is that, and then afterwards I saw another vision where it was like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like, the message was saying like, we are just made of atoms. We are just energies, vibration, which is why we are one. So although we may look different, we may come from different parts of the world, but we are just one. We are made from the same things, same atoms, energy. So that's when I felt it, and I know where the ego is basically gone as well, that part. And then because we were one, the moment felt so perfect. It was so beautiful. Like, this is also where I learn how to be fully present. You know how people always say, oh, be present, be in the moment, things like that. Like, it's like, I understand it. Yes, some of the time we are present, we know how to be present. But that moment during the ceremony, I actually fully felt fully being present and understood what it's like to be present. Basically, also the message was saying, cherish every single moment. Live in the moment. And when I was living in the moment, in that moment, in my head was like, I don't care about the future. The future is irrelevant. I actually do not give a fuck about what's going to happen after this ceremony. You know, it was just so beautiful. Like, I felt so grateful. I felt so grateful to be sharing this experience with my friend and other people in there. It was just so beautiful. And yeah, and even till now, I'm just like, I'm just like so happy, like just like bliss, this blissfulness, you know? Is that even a word? But anyway, you know what I mean? I just feel so great. I feel so happy. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. And then another one where I know how to be present is, so now the movie Inception, you know, like how Leonardo DiCaprio, like, just he comes out of a vision and another one, right? And he's still waking up from a dream and a dream. So that's what happened to me. I was like in this, well, in a vision, whatever, how you want to call it. And then I was like saying to myself, Cilia, be present. Come out of it. And I say to myself, Cilia, be present. Come out of it again. So it's like vision out of vision out of vision. And I was like, no, Cilia, be present. Now you're present. Now you're present. And up until, it kept going until I jumped. Not like jump, but like, just like woke up and opened my eyes. And I was back in that room looking at the candles. And then it was so clear that saying that, Cilia, now you're present. It was crazy. That's when I knew, like, yep, that is how you be present. Like, it's hard to explain. You're probably thinking, like, so how is it to be present? Like, you just have to experience yourself, and I just know. Yeah. So that's that. And then another one is that, oh yeah, I saw some vision. I was seeing, like, I was in this like Georgian Victorian type of house. And then in front of me, I saw this like vision of like some antique like vase, some plates, like really flowery like plates and all that, like basically the old-fashioned stuff. They were so clear that it looks like they've been magnified. I was going to magnetize. They've been magnified for me to see like the details, right? And I know what the message was. The message wasn't nothing to do with a bit about cherishing the old stuff, nothing like that, and nothing to do with the house. The message was, this is how manifestation works. If you can see your vision clearly, crystal clear, it's gonna happen. You need to know your vision, what is that you want in life, so clearly that it will happen. That you basically, you've got to feel it and you've got to see it for it to happen, if that makes sense. That's how manifestation works. And also the other message was that if you can see it clearly, you can get it and you can do, and basically you are powerful. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. Basically saying you are powerful. You are the creator of your life. You can have whatever you want, do whatever you want. Just be clear on your intention. Declare it. Be clear on what you want and the universe will give it to you. That was the message. I also want to go back to talking about the ego. So the shaman would go around like asking us, how's everyone feeling? Are you feeling okay? And my friend was saying like, he's fine. Like, he's feeling the medicine, but he's not feeling like sick or anything like that. And then in my head, because here's me feeling sick, and I'm supposed to be the healer, meaning like, a lot of people said I have healing powers, and that when they're around me, they feel so like safe, and I set them free. Yeah, basically. Anyway, so when my friend said that he's fine, in my head, my ego's kicking in and saying like, what? If you're not feeling it, that means what? Like, I'm going through something and you're not. How can that be? Nah, that's not right, because I'm the healer. I'm supposed to be feeling fine. Like, what? And so my ego was kicking in. And then afterwards I was like, no, Cilia. And oh, actually, not me, there's a message. No, Cilia. Healers are far from healed. We healer also have trauma to heal. We, like, everyone are healing. So, and I was like, yeah, stop it, Cilia, stop it. And then I just let it go. So the whole ceremony lasted from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. and it went so quick. But honestly, it was such a healing experience, a beautiful experience. And at the end, we had food. He called it sacred food because it had been blessed. And he also blessed us with like using this feather, dipped it in water. The water was already in the shrine, so it's been charged throughout the night and with our energy, obviously. And then he just dipped it, and it just like sort of blessed us on our head, on our arm, and things like that. And yeah, that's the experience. And I'll like definitely recommend it to people. It's such a healing experience. And peyote is, like I said, it's just a cactus. It's just a plant. It's legal. It's not illegal. My experience. Am I going to do it again? Would I do it again? Yes, I would 100% do it again. Probably like 3 months later. But the one thing that I really want to do is ayahuasca. I want to go to ayahuasca retreat in Costa Rica for my birthday in October, because I wanted to like be like a symbolism of me rebirthing. So yeah, if you liked it, please share, comment, reshare, all of that kind of stuff, and let me know your thoughts. Love you loads.